All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Welcome.
citizens of the internet.
Welcome to Stardew and discussing. Whoops, that is the wrong button. And discussing the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as we like to do on Sundays. I can't believe this is the penultimate episode of Falcon.
That's absolutely what I was thinking. Like, I know Star Wars fans are going to get the Bad Batch episodes, but that is going to be a long, slow, dry spell, isn't it?
Yeah, until we get stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I have sent invites to Lindsay and Mackenzie to the game.
Let's see if it pops in.
Da, 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 da. Water my corn that is just in my house. I love how I still have all these flamingos.
No.
It's pretty great. Okay, so yeah, we have we're here. Oh, I forgot to directly text Kathleen, but I feel like she knows that we do this. I'll just text her. And then
Can't hurt.
Kristen said she might not be able to be here today.
Oh, okay.
So
I was working this time, yes.
Stardew time. There we go. Otherwise, we got Lindsay and Mackenzie.
I can't get in, Jess.
You can't? Okay,
No.
I'll share the code.
Discord just hates me. For everybody's.
Oh.
This is always.
It does.
I feel like we lose a good 5 hours a game day to we can't get in. Oh, there's Kathleen. I don't know if we can hear her, but I see her name in the list.
Thank you.
Hey, Kathleen.
Can you hear me?
There you are. You're just very
Hello!
quiet. Here, let me turn you up. At least on my end.
Oh.
There we go. I think that's better. Hello, there you are. It's fine. Mackenzie was talking to us for 2 minutes and we didn't even know. So.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's gonna be done,
That was
so I might
great.
not be on as much, but I'll be listening in.
Be with us. There's a lot.
Oh my
to
God,
talk
who
about.
said that? Who said that?
What? What's going on? All right. I'm pumped. So what would I do for a Klondike bar? Well, back when I could eat ice cream, a lot of things. Now, not very much because I couldn't eat it, even if I got it.
I have to say that's one of the saddest things is you being
Yeah.
unable to eat ice cream, Jess.
It's pretty depressing most of the time.
Because I eat ice cream a lot.
I love ice cream. I really, really. You know what I miss more than anything else is cereal.
What? Oh.
Oh, yeah.
I really.
You could be like my husband and weird and not have milk with it.
I
Oh
mean,
my
there are certain cereals I'll eat dry, like pop cereal.
Oh, sure.
I'll just eat that. But have you guys been able to get in the game?
Nope. Connection failed twice.
Well, that's fun. Oh, there's Lindsay. So Lindsay's here. I've invited you and sent the invite code.
Okay. Maybe.
Maybe.
I'm getting further
I believe in you.
than I was at.
I believe you can do this. Oh, the other thing is it's getting... Well, I guess we're halfway through winter. We'll have to have a plan for what we want the farm to look like in the sprung. Hey, there's Mackenzie.
Woo! I made it! Let's see what's on TV.
Are there recipes? Alright.
It's telling me about worm bins.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Exciting. Alright.
Yeah.
So I guess just kind of screw around a bit, and then we have fishing. Oh, I should whip us up some fishing food.
There you go. Oh yes, we should do that.
That's a good thing to focus on. Now that we're here, how are we feeling about that episode?
Dude. Do not know where to begin.
Right?
It was the best. It's one of the best Marvel things I think I've seen in a long time. It was really good.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot, but it was really good.
It needed to be 60 minutes long, didn't it? Could not
really
have cut off 10 seconds of footage, could they?
No, it was all just phenomenal. What they did.
Phenomenal.
I got like during that training sequence, I just got so hype.
Oh, the Rocky sequence.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it
I was
was
like,
so good.
yeah.
Just feeling it as Sam goes. Okay, so like let's let's begin at the beginning. That fight for the shield at the beginning.
That beautifully choreographed fight. I have watched it like 6 times. It's so well done. Every single punch is like perfectly done.
Yep.
I felt very like John Walker's really gone around the bend, hasn't he? Like, I know that they've been kind of talking about complicated issues of veterans and PTSD and sacrificing for your country and what does that mean and blah blah blah. He went absolutely.
He lost his goddamn mind.
Yeah.
He was out of his goddamn mind. It was
Yeah.
like when he pulled Falcon's wings off, I felt physical pain. I know that did not physically hurt him. That's not part of his body, but I felt it. That was
Right.
awful.
Dang. Yeah, like, ooh.
Yeah, no,
He
and
tried
then,
to kill each of them exactly the same way that he killed that flag smasher. What on earth? I mean, what the F? What's going on?
well, and I thought too with like such a big thing with that was just the way he was in the Senate hearing after.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Although I gotta say, I really liked the line "You made me" as well.
Yes, that was very
Not
interesting.
wrong.
He's not
In that.
wrong.
Oh yeah, no, not at all.
I guess I felt like, I don't know. I mean, did they tell him to kill an unarmed civilian? Because if you think about it, with the flag smashers, he could have brought that guy in alive. That was the idea.
Yes, but they made him believe he needed the serum in order to do his job. And the serum
Did they make him believe that? Did they make him believe that, or did he believe that on his own? I'm really
honestly, somebody who
about that.
devoted his life like that. Whether or not they intended to, they put that in his head.
I mean, I think it can be a multiple things are true at once kind of situation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because like,
Definitely.
I mean, when you talk about people in upbringing and whatnot, you know, you talk about somebody who commits a crime, and yeah, they chose to commit that crime. But if they chose to commit that crime because of their, like of their upbringing, it's still their responsibility because they still committed the crime. But if they didn't get the guidance on how they should have behaved, you know, that's something different. And so it's something where the way I see it is John Walker absolutely is personally responsible for everything he's done. But
absolutely,
also,
no question.
Yeah, it's just like he can be personally responsible for everything he's done without being the only one responsible for what happened. Because you still put a guy who's never been the face of anything before and made him be a PR person and a soldier at the same time and never gave him any kind of training in that without necessarily like fully checking if he was mentally capable of doing such things. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's the thing of it to me.
I felt that opening fight sequence, I think, was really meant to mirror the fight sequence from at the end of Civil War when it's Bucky and Steve against Tony. And you know, at the end of that sequence, Steve destroys the arc reactor, and then he puts the shield down and walks away when he could easily have killed Tony. He held his life in the palm of his hand. And it's probably not fair to continually compare John Walker to Steve, but I guess when I think of soldiers who have been
Night Market is open,
part of
guys.
PR...
Sorry, Night Market is open. Let's go to the beach.
Fun.
I have fishing
So when
too.
I guess I just think of like soldiers who have been handed, soldiers who have been in situations in difficult combat situations, and then also soldiers who have been forced to be a PR face for a campaign, which is what Steve had to do.
Yep.
I don't know. He really does fall short. Like, there's a lot of different circumstances that make his character interesting to watch. Like, he's complicated, but he really was falling short in a number of ways. And I just kept coming back to that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the point.
Yeah.
It's just,
that is the point.
I don't know. I thought too, Like, as much as it mirrors that scene, I also thought it mirrored, it made me think of, I can't remember the name of the planet, but Infinity War, when they failed to cut off Thanos' arm.
Yeah, you're right. That was Titan. That was on Titan. They were
Titan.
literally on Titan.
And,
Yeah.
and this time, instead, they went for the arm, and I was like, that's what it felt like to me.
Oh, that horrible arm snap. Oh my gosh, like biting down on
God.
aluminum to hear that. Yikes.
I have food for you.
Never want to hear that again. Yeah, that's a great comparison. That's absolutely what it was like.
Last thing.
Sam and Bucky working together, warming my cold, dead heart as they saved each other's life at least once during that fight sequence.
Yep.
Each.
Yeah, no.
But I would also like to point out that at that point, both of them knew that John Walker was enhanced.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, for sure.
You can't have had that fight and not know it, and nobody has said a damn thing.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Nobody has said anything. Because I think they understand, like...
You can't
this
unenhance him.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah. But it's
Not
like...
that we know of.
I brought things that... I brought you things that... No, come here. These are things that increase your fishing score.
Oh, thank you.
I have more. Okay, and last thing. Okay, I'm gonna go to the fishing thing.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna give everybody coffee first.
I think we should be able to go down separately, right? Like, if I go down, it shouldn't take it away from you guys? Maybe.
I have no idea.
I have no idea. Do you want to find out?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going. Let's see. Okay, I'm going down. So if you guys can also go down, then we'll know.
Nope. The submarine is currently in use. Come
Darn
back
it.
later.
Okay. Well, now we know. No, I was gonna leave that for you, Andrew. That was your line from the Discord.
We're going more or less in chronological order, Andrew. We haven't gotten there yet. Although I will say I was furious that my, how dare Dollar General try and imitate my perfect child Tony Stark, who's never done anything wrong ever in his life. What's wrong with him? How dare him? That was how I felt. Like, how dare you pound something over an anvil while the music plays? No, that's Iron Man's thing.
That's funny. Kristen
You
said
haven't
that
earned
she
it.
briefly thought that it was there. Like, she kind of felt like it was just funny. I thought in that whole... I'm just really curious what you do with him now, at this point, because...
Oh, God.
He, they know he's enhanced. And, what were they expecting him to do? Just walk around and be non-enhanced now?
I'm wondering how much that tribunal knows about him taking the serum. They clearly thought he still had the shield.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure how much they actually know about.
I don't think anybody but John, Sam, and Bucky know.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm
Zemo.
thinking.
And
Zemo.
And Zemo.
Right. I think it's a given that he knows. I'm thinking they have no idea. This kind of brings me into talking more about the Julia Louis-Dreyfus character. I've read some theories. I don't know if this has been formally announced or if it's just a rumor that MCU, the Thunderbolts, like what Andy's saying in the chat, they want to introduce the Thunderbolts, which is not something I know a ton about. It's just that General Ross starts his own kind of Suicide Squad.
I've literally never heard of it.
With people who, I guess it was in the comics, there are some supervillains that are on the raft, that prison, and Thunderbolt Ross is in charge of it, and he tries to do his own Suicide Squad, and he calls them the Thunderbolts. And it's got John Walker and Zemo and the Abomination from the Hulk movie, I know, a throwback, and a couple other dudes. And I've just been hearing rumors that they're thinking about trying to do a Disney Plus series with that, and maybe because Ross is going to be in Black Widow too.
Oh, okay.
I can't say I'm super I'm pretty neutral on that as a concept, given how well established the Suicide Squad is in the DC universe. I kind of don't care either way, but that's a rumor I've heard.
I don't see this universe's Zemo wanting to be on a squad with enhanced people.
Yeah.
if he's a prisoner on the raft, is he going to have a choice?
I
In
mean,
Suicide Squad, they don't have a choice.
they can do whatever they want, right? So, like,
Yeah.
the only way he
Yeah.
does it is if it's against his will.
Sure. I would be kind of fine either way if they ended up never doing that, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I definitely enjoyed Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Oh, yeah.
Showing up, being
Beside
like,
myself.
hey, BT Dubs, I know, like, I'm the shit, and you better answer your phone when I call you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she comes
Right.
up wearing many different shades of purple, including a streak in her bangs. She's already a queen. She's already amazing. I already love her. And
I fell right outside my house.
I love that she came up
I
to him
literally
and his
passed
wife.
out
And
in bed.
yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
It says Yoda stayed out too late. I was literally walking into my bed. Alright, whatever, game. I thought she was interesting too, because she just kind of pops in out of nowhere and she feeds him everything he wants to hear.
Yeah.
And I know she's supposed to be someone from the comics again, somebody I have never heard of.
Right.
But
I heard. I'd only heard about this like a little bit, so I'm not 100% sure how it all works. But she is part of Leviathan, which is like another Hydra-esque bad guy club.
Ooh.
Yeah, I heard.
Leviathan was apparently, I read an article, it was apparently something in Agent Carter.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Right, it definitely does.
But a lot of
It's been a long time since I watched Agent Carter.
that they're going to like redo it because like basically how they redid the Darkhold, it's like it's not exact anything like it was in Agent Carter and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Like yes, we did it in Agent Carter, but that doesn't mean this is going to be the same.
Right.
Right.
So I don't know. That's what I.
Right.
So.
I gather at one point her character was sort of like double, triple agent within S.H.I.E.L.D. And she and Fury were together at one point. Like there's been a kind of shifting allegiances there. I kind of when she came up, I'm very much thinking she is the power broker, and I'm wondering what you guys think about that because they were not clear.
Because everyone else I've talked to just thinks it's more confirmation that Sharon's the power broker.
Really?
I don't know. I don't think Sharon is the power broker, but she's for sure called Batroc.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
absolutely called that guy. I don't want Sharon to be the power broker at all. Like, there's no way in which I like that storyline, but I just felt like this episode was more in that direction.
Yeah, Sharon
did feel more in that direction.
Sharon working for the power broker is cool. Like, bring it on, whatever. But
being the power broker, not so much.
Well, like Sharon having like killed the power broker and is now trying to take his network down from the inside. I will accept that. But I don't.
Oh, hey,
I will also accept that.
But I don't the idea that she wanted to bring back the super serum program. That's what I don't want.
No.
Hey, well, and Andrew.
I mean,
if
she was reporting to the power broker, she might not have had a choice, which is why I'm wondering if that's the way they're going. Or if she's two-timing the power broker, could be playing both ends against the middle. I guess I just I know Zemo was using male pronouns when talking about the power broker, but I don't confirm he ever met this person. I think it was like.
Yeah, I don't think that means anything.
Well, if I were the power broker, I would intentionally give a different gender than whatever I was.
Absolutely.
Like not even like make it vague. I mean, like I would literally give not my gender, so that people would look at me.
That's a great idea.
So
totally.
Just because like he thinks he doesn't really mean anything.
And Zemo can also be full shit. I mean, that's always a possibility.
Always.
What I think might be a thing is that Sharon actually supports the Flag Smashers.
That could be interesting.
Could be.
Because she wasn't blinked, right?
No,
she wasn't blinked. No, she wasn't. No, that's a good point.
Interesting. And like Carly's motives weren't evil from jump.
Correct.
right? It's,
No, not
it's really,
no.
it's taking the super serum that's caused her to be different.
Yeah.
Right.
That's interesting.
And Sharon helped get the rest of the super serum out of her hand
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
by sending Sam and Bucky to the guy who made it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
possible. That's definitely
Could be,
possible.
could be. I do one thing that I've seen pointed out on the internet that also doesn't really that sort of disproves the Sharon is the power broker theory is that when she fights all those dudes outside of the storage unit,
Yeah.
the boys can't see her. Oh, we can see her, but
Right.
Sam and Bucky can't see her. Zemo can't see her.
Right.
So if it's the power broker's men, there was no need to do that, or she could have done that differently and not kill a bunch of dudes.
Right.
Like, you know, there's no. It wasn't like she needed to keep up appearances in that
Right.
case. So I don't think she is. No.
I think the biggest piece of evidence that she's up to something is Django pointed out to me that she has an Android, and Apple won't let villains have iPhones.
Yes.
That is a great point. Thank you to Jenko for also catching that. Yeah, she does not use an iPhone, and Apple will not let villains use iPhones.
Which
I think is hilarious, by the way.
It's
like
great.
that's
That is so funny.
There's so many movies that fact spoils for you if you watch them.
yeah.
I wish Ryan Johnson had never told us that.
Yup. Oh.
But what I think is funny is that, like, so often it's, oh, well, we are gonna use an Apple product, but we're not gonna say it's Apple.
Right.
So, like, I don't know if you guys remember, like, when Nickelodeon was
Oh,
making
yeah.
shows or whatever, they were
It was a
clearly
pear.
using a Mac, but they made it into a pear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, guys.
But I agree with John that I think, or I'm hoping that John is correct, that Sharon is just deep cover for something.
Yeah.
I think that would. I just don't want her. Like, I could see her too being like a formally sympathetic to Flag Smashers person too. Andrew does point out that she uses the same phone as Fury, which makes a lot of sense, and I still like the.
I thought Fury had something untraceable, like a Nokia flip phone or something. I didn't think he even used a smartphone.
I mean, let's be honest. It's probably just like its own brand.
Yeah, it probably is. And if Disney is smart, they will sell it.
That's true. Disney.
Yeah.
I'd buy it.
Get your Disney.
I'd buy a Fury phone. We can move the chats over to the Fury phone from Discord.
I'm for it.
I guess I feel like with the finale next week
Yeah.
and a huge cameo like Julia Louis-Dreyfus, are they going to introduce someone else as the power broker in the last episode when they've already had this cameo? I don't think. Are they just going to reveal that that's who she is next week? That's kind of the direction I'm leaning toward.
I mean, I could see the power broker not being a thing that's resolved this season, right? Do we know if this is
You
a
shut
multiple
your
season?
mouth! What? No!
Totally possible.
No!
I think it's something to consider if this is a multi-season show.
I
Which they haven't confirmed yet, but I don't think there's enough. I think they've created enough loose ends
Right.
that they're not going to wrap them all up. So I think they're setting up some new stuff.
Yeah, it's true. They could be like, it could be that there's like a Mandalorian style thing after the episode 6 that's like Sam and Bucky will return in Cap and White Wolf coming 2022. I'm like,
Django, were your ears burning? Welcome
Hey,
to the
Django.
chat.
No, that's not what we're talking about in this stream. However, that is a good film.
It is a good film. It's one that's very hard for me to watch again, though. Like,
Which one?
7. Django came into the chat and was referencing.
Oh, Janko, come on. It took me forever to put that together. Oh my gosh, I never would have gotten there.
That's what the reference to my stream title is.
I know. I'm just dumb. Would have taken me a while.
We discussed the 2009 The Box. Is
No.
that terrible one where you like hit the button and someone dies? That movie.
Yeah.
So like it's an interesting concept. I went and saw it in theaters, and like I don't even care if you haven't seen it, and I'm gonna spoil it for you. But like, you go and frickin' in the movie, like, it's just this thought experiment, and then partway through you find out that they're all space aliens and they want to know if human beings are worth saving.
Oh, that's so dumb.
It's so dumb. It literally becomes like, and I like a good let's fight space aliens movie, but like, what? Excuse me?
I know, I hate that. You're like,
Alright,
actually aliens? That's so
I'm
stupid.
gonna wait for you all to show up in the thing this time.
That's especially weird because it's originally, I think, a short story and was a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah,
I
not
was gonna
about
say.
space aliens.
Not involve aliens.
In no way, shape, or form. Yeah.
So,
But
I
we're
guess
being
you have to
cool,
fill out
guys.
every
Eating
minute.
it.
It was just like, what the heck? Also, not Django watching while I was driving. I don't care if you watch while you drive, Django. I care if you reply in chat while you drive.
Yeah.
I can just see Django trying to do voice to text in the chat. Is that even a thing? Is that even a thing?
I don't know.
I loved during the opening fight scene, it's kind of a small thing, but at the end of that, when Bucky is kind of gives the shield to Sam, sort of,
Yeah.
there's like this beautiful shot of like a heavenly beam of light, like
Right.
Lion King styles, totally beaming down on him. It's like a divine blessing. It was amazing. I love that. It was
so
beautiful.
good.
It was gorgeous. And Sam looked so upset with the blood on the shield. I felt so much for him.
Right.
Because he was blaming himself.
Yeah.
What Bucky pointed out at the end of the episode. He was. Poor baby.
Now, there's a lot in this episode I really want to talk about, but I also am aware that we're a group of white women. So, like, I feel bad not addressing it, but I also feel bad talking about it, if that makes any kind of sense.
Yeah. Like, I mean, we need to address it in only to say, holy crap, that's heavy.
Yeah.
I'm impressed that Disney put that in their TV show.
I completely agree.
It really makes me think about the comics, doesn't it? Because as far as I know, that's all just a Cliff Notes version of stuff that was in the comic books, like the Isaiah Bradley story. And those were based on a whole bunch of real things that actually happened, like the Tuskegee experiments. This is why I keep having absolutely no sympathy for John Walker. That's one thing I can say as a white woman, is some of the things that these veterans faced, and they still didn't kill any unarmed people. I guess I just coming back to that for me. Like listening to Isaiah Bradley talk about the effect that, like the desire he felt to break out the prisoners of war, which is exactly what Steve did in the first Captain America movie. I had totally forgotten about that. That's exactly what he did. And that's when the government started to take him seriously. And that's when they praised him. You know? And I just... It was really hard to hear him talk about this, and then to talk about the racism that the soldiers coming home faced, the veterans of this war faced, for this country that didn't care about them. I guess I feel like seeing this wide variety of experiences among soldiers specifically is really interesting.
And as a Navy kid, like, there's a lot of weird stuff with serving. My dad still works as a contractor for the Army, and there's a lot of things, and a lot of it is good, but some of it is like,
Right.
And like my mom, she's an absolutely wonderful human being, but every once in a while you look at her and go, but why are you that way?
Right.
Like, and she says, well, because I look at everything through the lens of being a military wife. So blah, blah, blah. And not to say that that's the correct way to do it, because I disagree with some of the things that my mom looks at that way. But like, well, it's very difficult to this and that, and blah, blah, and I'm like, but like, so having the different perspectives is really cool. And I feel like that's something that was really important within the show, to show that everybody has different perspectives. And not, you don't necessarily feel like your perspective can be the only one or is the most valid. I think that conversation between Bucky and Sam, like, hey, we did not think about this.
Guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I really appreciated how Bucky was able to absolutely own it and say, neither Steve or I thought of this. I am sorry. I owe you an apology.
Right.
It's such a small thing, but some people, some white wolves, shall we say, sometimes find that kind of hard to do. And I just really appreciated that he was able to do that. And you could see Sam audibly feel like he kind of sighed a little bit, like a weight off his shoulders.
Right.
Like he felt good hearing that. And poor Sam, I mean, really, he has so much to think about and consider as a Black man considering taking up this mantle.
Guys, just buy the beacon. Just buy the beacon here at Willie's shop.
That's a good call.
Sorry, game stuff. I apologize.
No, it's all good. It's just hearing from Isaiah Bradley, who Sam clearly has a ton of respect and empathy for, that he can't, that no self-respecting or take off that shield.
Yeah.
That's hard. Sam has got so much to consider. He has to be his own person, but he's just got all these different viewpoints coming at him. He is really going to have a lot to think about, and I really respect that about his character. I'm really glad he's getting to the forefront this way.
Django says, I've been led to believe that Anthony Mackie insisted on some of these themes, which I applaud him for. That's amazing. I have no reason to doubt what Django said is true, but it sounds like Django is not really sure.
I have no reason to doubt that. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Well, and that's what people have been saying, right? The importance of representation, not just on, but behind the camera, is how you get stories like this.
Yeah, as far as I know, the writer's room and the showrunner, and there's a lot of there's many diverse voices, many Black voices involved here as well. So I'd like to think that he was able to work with them. That's good.
Yeah. So I think that adds a lot. I really appreciated the conversation between Sam and his sister.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because he was kind of thinking out loud. This and that, and then she just looks at him and says, "You're not going to let someone else make this decision for you, are you?"
Right.
Yeah.
You decide. You get to pick, and whatever you choose is what you need it to be.
Right.
That's awesome.
I appreciated the hell out of that.
Right. And
I've loved having her perspective. I've really loved having her.
I love his sister.
I do too.
Why is this phone ringing?
Oh, yeah, their phone at our house, it's annoying as frick.
Rings and people just
I'm never gonna buy an endgame phone again. I don't like it.
The cat that sells hats likes to call you all the time and tell you to come buy hats.
Yeah, it's interesting. And again, this is something I'm saying as a white person, and I get that, but I valued, to the degree that I can understand that to be true, I valued that Sarah had a different perspective from Isaiah that wasn't necessarily any more or less valid, and Sam's isn't any more and less valid. You can, when something has happened to you, both individually and for who you are in your community, there can be multiple right responses to a thing. And everybody's how it affects everybody is there isn't a wrong way. Right.
Absolutely.
And I liked that. I liked that neither and Isaiah wasn't portrayed in a wrong way. It wasn't Sam went, "Oh, I can't be bitter like him. I gotta be better." He was no, I would feel the same way if I was him.
Yep. I would absolutely feel the same way.
But I can't. But I don't want to stay there. And I was that's that's interesting.
Yeah, exactly. That's amazing.
And I like that a lot.
Sam was I respect that.
Yeah.
But I choose to be part of the solution to what has been seen, what could be seen as a problem, or simply the way things are.
Right.
Exactly. And I do.
Gravity exists. Racism exists.
Yep.
And it's a 21st
or
right. And he's a 21st century man kind of tackling this problem maybe differently than somebody born in the 1950s. He's bringing his own experiences into it. And I really like that they included, he has these nephews as well. Yeah. And so I think there was this great moment, just a couple seconds, where you see one of the boys kind of reverently touching the shield. Not when they're playing with it.
I looked at Eric.
Star.
I looked at Eric when that happened because that was like during the Rocky sequence, right?
Yeah.
And I looked at Eric and I was that is why Sam has the shield, so that people can have that face.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that is the face of hope. That is the face of, oh, we can do some good stuff. Yeah. Like, I could be this if I wanted.
Yeah.
And that's not something that Isaiah could see.
Right.
After the things that happened to him, he could not see that.
Right.
Yeah.
And not like his nephews, who, by the way, it's Uncle Sam.
I love that it's Uncle Sam.
For a moment to acknowledge that pun.
Yeah. It's so good.
So good.
But like that was really important to me. That that moment was really important.
Like, oh man, it's the shield. Yeah, no, I loved it, and I love that he's. Yeah. And Anthony Mackie is just like, I feel like we haven't really talked about it, but like his acting, like he's not a bad actor. I wasn't expecting him to be bad at acting or anything, but like his acting has been amazing. Like
it has been,
and I can't believe how good it's been.
Yeah.
Really.
Oh yeah.
He and Sebastian Stan both, but you know he gets to lead this series maybe in more so, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's absolutely crushing it. I think John summing it up well in the chat. I think it's also wise that they not only tackled race issues, but also a little bit on how the generational gap affects how each group deals with racism and discrimination. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. That's a big one too.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's how that's always. Yeah.
And John, I'd love to read your breakdown of John Walker and Steve compared to Sam when you're done with it. I want to read it.
I am so excited for what, like, just to see, and like this was what I was gonna kind of say about why they haven't confirmed a second season. Is I think there will be, but it's not going to be called Falcon and Winter Soldier. So it's not going to be like a true second season, because like it's going to be branded something different. But there will be things in it that are direct carryovers from this series. I think that's how it's
Cap and White Wolf, baby.
Yep.
Number 2, Electric Boogaloo. Woo! Yeah. They take a road trip. I
want that road trip so badly. But like, no, because I think that's the reason why they haven't outright said one way or another. Because like, I'm pretty sure they said ahead of time that WandaVision was a miniseries, and I don't think they've said either way on this one.
The only one they've said up front that I know of is Loki. That's confirmed. That's for definite. It's in pre-production right now because they want it out next year. Yeah,
but that's another one where the story absolutely could continue.
Yeah, but I think it kind of has to.
Yeah.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm gonna set a whole bunch of controlled fires, if it doesn't. So I might just set them anyway, depending on how the series goes. We'll see. Oh, I just said that out loud. Oh well, whatever.
For the internet to hear.
Yeah, the references to actual historical events basically broke me, and that's all. Like it. Yeah. It was hard to watch.
But so where are we at in the breakdown of? Because like then, Mackenzie, in our polo group that we were talking about after we watched this, you made a really great point that I didn't get to in the chat, which was the pacing in this episode was so different.
Yeah, the pacing in this episode is really different. And I think that might be why some people didn't like it, because it was like, go, let's pause for 30 minutes and process through what the hell just happened.
Right.
Good.
Which I enjoyed, but
Yeah.
Not everybody does.
I mean, like, I would say two things to that, which is, one, this episode couldn't, for what it was doing, it couldn't have done anything else. But also, in general, I prefer faster-paced things. So, like, in terms of entertainment value, it's not my favorite episode, but, like, I think it's the most important episode we've had in the series, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not an episode for entertainment value. That's not what they were trying to do.
No, that's yeah.
I mean, kicking off with that fight and then having all the sequences with Sam and Bucky working on the boat, and then
There was my buddy cop movie, guys. That was it.
What?
That was my buddy cop movie.
Yeah. Man, working on the boat is a metaphor for their like experiences and feelings. Oh my god, that was such a great. Every single thing about that sequence was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Sam trying to move the boat and Bucky just pulling it off.
Yeah.
Sam saying, "Why didn't you use metal arms?"
Using, like doing stuff on the boat with his right hand, and he's like, "Why didn't you just use the metal arm?" And he goes, "I forget. I'm right-handed."
I love that. I love that so much.
It's like, well, I don't always think of it. I'm right-handed. And maybe, arguably, one of the best of the episode, Bucky as the ladies' man, coming out again, having chemistry with every single man, woman, person, child, and tree.
Everyone is in love with Bucky, and it makes sense.
It is when he kind of like, did his flirtatious on Bucky.
Yeah.
I giggled a lot, very high pitched. It was terrible. I was so glad that it was like he could not actually see me through the screen. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible.
It was
in a good way.
And then people were talking about
don't flirt with my sister.
Bucky benefiting from Sam's counseling. What I really liked about that too, and I don't know if this was maybe me picking up on something that wasn't there, but I really liked that it started with Bucky apologizing for not understanding Sam's position as a black man becoming Captain America. And Sam so genuinely appreciating that apology, but then moving directly into, okay, but you have to stop apologizing to make yourself feel better.
Yes.
Yes.
I thought that the duality there was really good, and that he both really appreciated Bucky saying that, and he wanted to hear that. Because, I mean, that's absolutely what he was thinking in the counseling session, and he didn't want to say. He just didn't want to sit there and explain the complexity of being a black man becoming Captain America in that moment.
Yeah.
And so then the fact that Bucky was able to get there, but then for him to go, okay, it's, you know, it's good that you did this, but also, you know, you can't just do this. Here's how you gotta do your own stuff. And I really liked that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say, if the next one starts with Bucky going back to the old man and actually like making amends with him, I'm gonna cry so hard.
It's gonna end with that.
It could end with that, yeah.
I think that's gonna be the last scene of the season.
I think that depends on how much they want to leave this show in like a total cliffhanger. I think the last scene of the season will be something more about Sam being Cap.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I agree that I think it's going to be at the end.
I'm really not ready for Bucky to apologize to his friend. That's going to be very hard to watch. I hope they show us all of it. Get some cathartic tears.
Oh, and
I hope he forgives him.
Andrew makes a good point. That's why Bucky's going to be in New York, so they could actually start with that.
Oh my gosh.
He's actually going home.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's all roads leading to New York.
Yep.
Quick moment to dunk on the Flag Smashers. They weren't using a VPN.
Yeah.
They don't have one? Guys. You guys. Use
Also,
a VPN if you're a terrorist, you guys.
Super obvious in the middle of a freaking park.
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
Everybody just goes, oh my god, my phone dinged. Oh, where am I going? Let's stand up and all walk together like we're zombies.
Yep.
I think they were trying to have a cool John Wick moment, but it works better in John Wick than in this.
Unless they're going immediately to commit whatever crime. I mean, like, if they're literally just walking there now.
Well, to be fair,
like super conspicuous.
Yeah,
I think they were supposed to go immediately commit the crime because that was the GRC hearing.
Yeah.
Right.
But
but that's what happened in the first episode with the bank. Like, literally, there were a bunch of people wandering around, and then they all looked at their phones, and then they all started, like, running. Like, same exact thing, except different location.
Right.
But it wasn't nearly as, I don't know, it felt way more conspicuous.
Right, it did.
Daytime as opposed to nighttime.
Alright, it's
But,
getting late. Once I'm gonna...
Let me catch this fish,
Yep,
and then
same.
we can go. Okay, I'm ready.
I'm gonna finish catching
I-
mine. Okay.
I'm so excited for Torres to take up the wings now. That's
Yeah.
really cool that they set that up.
Yep,
Oh,
I really
yes.
like that too.
I'm excited because he's very good looking and deserves to have the wings and fly around and be good looking in the sky. I can't wait.
Yeah. Yeah, and
I
Andrew
hope
brings
that
up...
when
Oh yeah.
I was just about to ask if that was the good-looking man everyone liked.
Yes.
But I
Yes,
answer.
that's the
Okay.
very attractive Torres.
Good to know.
that's kind of pretty much all I have to say on the internet about it. But yeah, I'm excited for that.
Come on, game. Game, let me buy it. There we go. Yeah, Andrew's saying Carly's gone beyond to, like, actual terrorism instead of just an ideal. Well, and I really like what they keep saying about how, like, the super serum really does, like, amplify, yeah, but change you. And, you know, there's a part of me that wonders, you know, we've been told it's the super soldier serum or whatever, but we don't actually know we don't know how close this is actually to what Steve got injected with. You know, at what point are these people actually being changed more so by what they've been injected with? Like, could they actually be becoming more violent because of the nature of this serum in a way that Steve didn't have to deal with? I don't know if they've said that.
That's a good point. I hadn't considered that.
Yeah, they're
Not necessarily the same thing.
Mm-hmm. It's just a
Well, it's
replicated one.
created like many times at this point. So,
Yeah.
like it's gotta be quite a bit different.
Mm-hmm. The only time it's ever really worked was with Steve.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be
Which I
taking
think is
medical stuff from just random people. You don't know where it's coming from.
That's true.
right.
You gotta be careful what you get injected with when it comes
Yeah.
to, like, government super serums.
I wonder, have they outright said that it's not exact, like that it's pretty close to Steve's serum, but it's more like black market than the stuff that Dr. Erskine came up with, or are they saying it's literally Erskine serum?
I don't think they've said.
Well, Dr. Nagel, all that guy said, I think, was that he had refined it so it's a little bit different. Like, they don't all have
Yeah.
massive pecs and stuff immediately.
Right.
Like, so he's made some change. Maybe it doesn't work as well.
Right. It's a possibility.
'Cause who's as good as Stanley Tucci? Nobody.
No,
Nobody's
nobody.
as good as the Tooch.
That's true.
True story.
No one is gonna make a serum like he did. Just nobody.
Absolutely no one.
Oh, my winter star secret friend is Clint.
Mine is Sam.
Nice.
Mine is Willie.
So only Lindsay got a dateable person.
Yeah.
Alright, so where are we at with the breakdown of stuff? Yeah, so then training sequence was awesome. Yeah, and then it's so this is like, what does Walker think he's making? Because
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
like,
He's making his own version of the shield.
yeah, but out of what?
But
That's what I asked.
regular old metal, so it's not gonna do shit for him. But it's
Yeah.
gonna be the image is gonna be there.
Yeah. And
I
I
mean,
guess
obviously
here he
it
has
was
the
pretty-
strength, but yeah.
It's poignant that he's melting down his medals of honor or whatever to make it, but aside from that, it's pretty stupid. Like, screw him.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate that he was trying to do a knockoff shield.
Right.
Yeah, I don't appreciate that either.
He's just so
I
convinced
enjoyed the Hobby Lobby shield, but I also saw online it being compared to a Wish.com shield, which I also.
Yes.
When
That's
you
funny.
see it online versus when Because it's not going to be vibranium. How could it be?
Right.
Right.
Also,
Speaking of the shield.
okay.
Oh no, you go first, Jets.
I was gonna say, again, I don't know if I'm projecting here, but I think it's kind of cool that whatever suit Sam will have as Captain America is Wakandan made.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
like
I
not
think
even
that's
just from
very
it that it's
poignant.
vibranium, but like it'll be Wakandan made.
Yeah. So Captain America will be supporting other nations. What?
Well, I think it also just adds like a different kind of lineage and history to the suit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking a lot. I was thinking a lot too when Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character, Madam Power Broker, can I say unofficially, was talking about how the government technically does not own the shield. It is a legal gray area. They can threaten as much as they want. It made me think about issues of like, because if that's vibranium and that shield was made in the 40s, there's no way that left Wakanda of its own free will, their own free will, right? Like it was presumably stolen material.
Presumably.
And Howard Stark acquired it somewhere.
I mean, there's nothing that says that Howard necessarily stole it himself, but yes, presumably.
Oh, no, I don't think, I kind of don't think he did, but I don't think the Wakandans would have wanted it to leave.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So
and now they are giving
copyrights.
They're giving it to Sam. They're giving him their okay.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like, you know, I think about this a lot in a museum, like there's issues of in under what circumstances ivory can enter the country and stuff like that. I kind of have to think vibranium is treated similarly.
At least it was at that time, yeah.
Yeah. But like so that's gonna make such a difference now, is to have this intentional, not stolen, but freely given object from Wakanda given to Sam, the first ever Black Captain America. I'm honestly, I'm gonna cry when I see that outfit. I'm gonna cry.
It's gonna be good stuff. Hey Cal, welcome. Oh, Erlin's here. Sorry, and Crafters. Oh my gosh, a bunch of people popped in. I didn't see you. I'm so sorry, guys. Crafters is here. Welcome. It's great to see you. And I always love it when you pop in. And then Cal made it. Welcome. Okay, I'm sorry. I feel bad. I was so focused on chopping wood. I missed it. Yes, it could be a. I don't know if it'll look like a Black Panther like suit though, because I feel like that's just mixing too many things. Because he's. I mean, I know he's Captain America now, not the Falcon, but I feel like if anything, it would be.
Yeah.
Do you think it'll have wings?
No,
I do.
Oh,
it could.
I hope so. I hope so.
I think it will, because they understand that that's the way that Sam knows how to fight.
That's his training. Absolutely.
That is his and he isn't a super soldier. He is still not a super soldier.
Right.
So he's a regular dude that needs to be able to fight to the best of his ability.
Right.
I think that I think that means wings.
Yeah.
And I think they emphasize that too. You're totally right. I think they emphasize that with all of his amazing wing moves in the opening sequence fight. Let's take a moment to appreciate him using the wings to fight John Walker. It was so cool. I could not get over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Thank you for dropping by, Crafters. I hope you're doing well. It's always Crafters is one of my very, very, very first subscribers.
Yay!
Which is just, I saw it every time. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been doing this forever, and it just makes me happy.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see the suit. I'm very excited to see Sam try and deal with this Flag Smashers issue in a way that maybe, hopefully, as nonviolent as possible.
Right.
I think he definitely connected with Carly, and that was emphasized several times last episode.
And her second in command there doesn't want to be violent.
No, he doesn't. Mr. Good-looking guy with the long hair. Mr. Long Hair Man.
There's a long list of good-looking people in that show, and it doesn't make me mad.
Everyone?
It does not make me mad. Yeah.
He's the only guy with really long hair in her crew, so we can just call him Mr. Good-looking Long Hair Man.
That's true. We appreciate the last episode sets up Torres taking up the mantle. Yes. Surprised they kept the suit a secret. Yeah, I think that was just like, I feel like after how, I don't want to say slow the pacing is, because that makes it sound like a complaint, but like how low-key, no, low-key isn't really the right word either, but like how just, I guess, slow the episode was. I think they wanted to put some kind of like, at the end of the episode for the people who need that, you know?
Exactly. Like a cliffhanger situation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's exactly how I felt.
Because I mean, at this point, you know. Like, you know. There's no... Even if it's not said, you know he's going to take up the actual mantle of Captain America.
Yeah.
You know there's a suit there. Like... And it's gonna be so good.
I very much... Now that I think about it, I think a lot of the suits for these superheroes have, like, been introduced visually on the person's body for the first time. Like, if they'd opened the suitcase, it would have been presumably part of it because it's folded, I guess. Right. That's kind of how I'm picturing it within the suitcase. So makes sense. I'm very excited to see that.
Oh, and John clarifies he's surprised it hasn't been leaked. See, that I don't know because I haven't been online. Good point. So I wouldn't know if it had been. Could be they haven't released any toys yet. I know they did that with some Mandalorian stuff to keep it from leaking. Well, they changed the toy release schedule, or the quantum suits from Endgame got leaked. That's toys. Oh yeah, good point. I always forget that. Mm-hmm. So it's always those darn toy releases. That's where everyone was like, why didn't Disney have Baby Yoda toys ready to go? It's like, because they didn't want to spoil Baby Yoda. Yeah, it's like, why did you think? They're like, Disney's so stupid. I'm like, it was a calculated decision. People are so ignorant, aren't they? These are the same people who would happily leak the images if they saw them. How come like, Disney didn't do the thing that lets me do the thing they didn't want me to do? Yeah, no kidding. It's like, how dare you foil me through means that I'm not smart enough to get around. Ah. Yeah. I guess, speaking of what they're setting up with the Flag Smashers next week, for me, I really could tell this episode, and this is not a complaint, but I can really tell that they've had to re-edit and reshoot a lot of their stuff. Yeah. Like, it took me a couple watches to understand what they were trying to do, what they were trying to do at the conference, like what they were upset about is because the refugees are being forcibly, like, relocated. Right. Yeah, and they're doing that. Yep. And the added tension to that is that started because Carly did violence in the first place. Yeah, that's true. Her blowing up that building is what caused it. Yeah. Yeah. And then so now she's scrambling because she did the thing and now she needs to like react to it. So she's basically kind of like trying to make it better, but it's really making it worse, but she's trying to keep afloat. She's struggling. It's interesting stuff. And I guess they're making her a little bit more ruthless, with every successive episode, which is interesting. It's almost like the serum is having an effect, sorta, but her compatriots do not all agree with her. Long-haired, handsome man doesn't agree with her. So I guess I'm just wondering how next week is going to go, because I did think it was interesting. They showed Senator Butthole, I guess we can call him, because he's a total butthole. He's really rude. Is the one who there's disagreement even on the council. Yeah. There were other people on that council that were like, no. Slow your roll. Let's talk about a more humane solution.
He's like, no.
So what is going to happen next week? I guess I really can't picture how this is possibly going to go, because Carly, she's not going to get taken in alive. She's not going to back down. But there's disagreement over what is to be done in every camp. So I just don't know where this is going to go. Django says it's because the unblipped people got their houses back and the dislocated people who lived there got their... I really want that typo to be on purpose. The dislocated people who loved there in the meantime. But I know, because my phone makes that exact same typo anyway. Never while I'm driving, because I don't make messages like that while I'm driving. But it does do that to me. But it brings up an interesting question, because all of these discussions are one thing, and obviously there's real world analogous things as Andrew's bringing up in the chat, but this is an entirely different thing. Who owns that house? The person who's been gone for 4 years, or the person who's lived there for the last 4 years? And it is a very interesting question. Like, if it's some sort of, my family has lived here for, 80 years,
and somebody else is living there, like, it's interesting. It's an interesting question.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where there really probably isn't a good answer.
There probably isn't, no.
Because things are complicated, because that's how life works, y'all.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I feel like that's part of the Flag Smashers deal, is that it's consistently the dislocated, like the blipped people are being given back what they had because it's not their fault that they disappeared.
Right.
But then the people who were in their place are being, like, aren't getting anything. They're like, and it's not their fault that that happened to them.
Right. You know, no one picked to be the ones who left or stayed. No one had any control over it.
Right.
And I just think I like questions like this because you can make real world correlations to it, but it's a situation that just simply doesn't exist in the real world. So as much as you can draw comparisons, it's also very different, I think.
Right.
Because we've never had people blipped away by an alien for 4 years through space magic. Like, that's never happened.
Right.
Yeah. You know of.
Hey, I hit level 10 foraging. Forage items are always the highest quality, please. Yes.
Yeah, I guess I had forgotten this, but in Spider-Man Far From Home, there's a much more comedic take on it at the beginning of that movie, where Aunt May has started a charity to help displaced people, and she tells a funny story about how when she blipped back, she was in her apartment, and obviously another family was living there, and the wife assumed she was the mistress and started yelling at her. And it's meant very funny, but, you know, Aunt May is somebody who presumably had the means to move, or she was not, like, out on the street.
Right.
You know, like, I think that's what she said she ultimately did, was just move somewhere else.
I think it's different, too, when you, like...
Yeah.
I think you can tell the funny story about yourself. You know,
Yeah.
You're not going to raise money off of, like, well, there was this time I almost got shot because somebody thought I was the mistress. You know, where if you make people laugh...
Right,
coconut. Yeah,
right. All this to say that I had not considered the implications of this, because that was kind of a funny, like...
that Tony Stark money,
Yeah.
There's a couple different comparisons that are being thrown around in chat, and I get it too, but it's still like it's never gonna be exactly the same because science fiction.
Yeah, I think there's some interesting comparisons that are similar, but yeah, it is not 100% the same. Because it was like a Rapture level event. No, Django, Thanos was not right. Django in the chat suggesting Thanos was basically right. LOL.
He's not, but at the same time, like, Carly makes a point of she and her people only finally got help because of there was 50% less people in the world, and that's why Thanos did things. Sin says that. Sin, you would. I mean, yes. I know how you were answering my Life is Strange questions yesterday.
Yeah.
I know what's up. Welcome, Sin.
Yeah, Thanos didn't even consider making more resources with the Infinity Stones, so I don't want to hear what that guy has to say, because even if his intentions are good, he's dumb.
Like, I mean, that's just inflation. I remember I read Hitchhiker's Guide, and in the second book, I think, second or third book, I can't remember, when Arthur and Ford go back in time, and they find all the people who, like, landed on Earth from another planet. It's a whole other thing. But, like, we're all descended from really dumb people from another planet. We're not actually descended from apes, according to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And they were sitting around trying to discuss how to make currency work. And Arthur wakes up one morning, and all the trees have been burned down. And they're like, well, what happened? He's like, well, the people are like, well, we decided to make leaves currency, and every leaf was, like, 1 unit of currency. And he's like, okay. So what happened to the trees? Well, there was mass inflation, so we decided to burn the trees down.
Oh.
And it's kind of like, you can make more resources, until you then like make more resources, so you make more people, so then you need more resources. Like it's a problem that never solves itself.
Yeah.
Nope.
Let's not forget that in the comics, Thanos was referred to as the Mad Titan by almost everybody. I'm not sure that they carried that over to the movies.
Well, it's
but
also
he was nuts. He was meant to be nuts.
He also was doing a lot of it for a woman in the comics.
Oh, yeah, that little detail. The female personification of death.
Andrew knows what I'm talking about. Yes, that's what they were called. Yes.
Yeah.
It was the group of people that were made out of phone sanitizers and hairdressers. It's a great book. It really is. I've never forgotten that. That, to this day, is the reason why I understand what inflation is.
Could have used that in school, and nobody even thought to bring that up in school.
No. But no, I don't think Thanos was right. I am saying that, his methods were wrong, but he wasn't wrong that overpopulation is part of the issue. The answer is not a culling.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
The answer is maybe don't have 12 children anymore.
Yeah. We don't need it to match the child mortality rate.
Yeah, the stream would like to take a very firm anti-Thanos stance. We do not endorse any of Thanos' policies at any time.
I do not endorse any form of culling. Culling is bad.
Oh boy.
We'd like to take a firm stance against any form of a cull. Yeah, just for the record.
Laws on how many children to have are not exactly the worst idea.
Well,
seeing how many you can have just for the sake of seeing if you can get in the Guinness Book of World Records is a ridiculous notion.
Yeah.
I still don't think that's the type of thing I'd want to be a law, but it is a thing for personal responsibility.
Not a law, no.
They made a reference to it with "to court death" line in the post-credit. Yeah. They didn't make it about her.
I like Cal pointing out in the chat, totally unrelated, but I recently found out that the actress who played Leah in the first episode was in a Disney Channel pop music group in the mid-2000s.
What?
Which, Leah, was that the person Bucky went on the date with? I can't remember which person was Leah in episode 1.
Yeah.
Google this, hang on. I'm gonna Google it.
What pop music group?
Yes, she's the waitress who goes on the date with Bucky. She is played by an actress called Mia Ishikawa, who I'm going to find out what music group she was in.
Apparently nobody's been to the beach in a while. We have lots.
Miki Ishikawa.
I looked, but I couldn't do it because it was in the night market.
Yes.
Miki Ishikawa started her career when she signed on to Disney Records as part of a group called T-Squad. During this time, she toured with the Jonas Brothers, Miley Cyrus, and the Cheetah Girls, and was also starring on the Nickelodeon series Zoe 101. Well, there you go.
I've never heard it. And I knew my Disney Channel pop groups, but I don't know T-Squad.
I guess because you never went and saw any of them in concert, maybe that's why.
Yeah, no, I didn't, so she might have been.
Not aware of that one.
I am really happy that you know me well enough that even though I said I know the names of these groups, you also knew that I did not see any of them in concert.
Well, I mean, I'm just calling it like it is. Yeah. I'm just calling it like it is. Yeah, I know you like back of my hand.
Yeah, I know them because I watched a lot of Disney Channel, but I was not.
Me too. I watched a lot of Disney Channel.
Really?
Cal is just popping.
I'm gonna be honest, Cal. I kind of want to try The Descendants. I've heard kind of decent things. I know it's like a Disney Channel show, but it sounds interesting.
The movie, The Descendants?
Yeah. Well,
There's
and the TV show.
movies.
Yeah, a couple movies and a TV show.
Yeah. So the movies, okay. I enjoy the movies.
Okay.
They are basically stage productions.
Okay.
Of silly Disney-esque stories.
Perfect.
I enjoyed the hell out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but
they're meant to be
they're
like for
definitely
kids, but they're
not
fun.
anything like, oh my god, this is really good TV. Like, no.
Right.
Yeah.
They're really fun
Mm-hmm.
and a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
Mm.
But if you like musicals,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, they're useful.
Okay.
I've watched them all twice.
See,
Thank you for sharing that with us, Mackenzie.
and
You
John,
know?
I'm the opposite, because I think, like, the last time I really watched a Disney Channel show that wasn't Star Wars was Phineas and Ferb. I haven't kept up with anything
Yep.
since.
Accurate.
Yeah,
Phineas
the
and Ferb
shows
is
that
amazing.
Andrew's mentioning, I watched all of those.
Just FYI for Phineas and Ferb fans in the chat, the creators of that show worked on a show called Milo Murphy's Law that has since been canceled, but it's all on Disney Plus, and it is absolutely hysterical. I watched all of it in the early days of quarantine, and it is, if you like Phineas and Ferb, you will also like it. Weird Al Yankovic is the main character. I thought it was very funny. It doesn't end on a big cliffhanger or anything, even though they weren't able to get another season cleared. I think there's only 2 seasons so far, but it's really funny. Recommend it. Anyway.
Django says it can't be as bad as the later seasons of Uwat. Oh,
I could not make it all the way through, and I used to love that show.
I used to love Uwat, and I gave up so hard.
I think I got through a lot of it, but I just could not finish.
I always describe that show as a really horrible relationship with really hot anniversaries.
Yeah, that's a great way. That's a great way. That's a great way of putting it.
That show had some of the best season openers and finales I've ever seen, and everything in the middle after like 4 seasons was like, why? Why is this here? Why is this happening? The first season of that show is some of the best ever. I love the first season of Uwat, and it just kind of
honestly, I kind of liked second and third and even part of the 4th seasons because I was one of those Captain Hook stands.
And see, I was never into Captain Hook.
Cal, we're talking about Once Upon a Time, the TV show that used to air on ABC.
Yep.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was good.
Wait, Django, why did you die? We pronounced it that way.
He hates that I take acronyms and makes them words. That's why we call this. That's why we call Falcon. That's why when we talk about this show, we call it FaSW for Falcon and Winter Soldier, just to mess with him. It's FaSW. This whole discussion started because I always called The Rise of Skywalker Tross, and he's like, "Why are you calling it Tross?" And I'm like, "Because it's Tross." And like there was this whole debate on the internet as to whether or not it was Tross or T-Ross, and I'm like, "It's not a dinosaur. It's not T-Ross. It's Tross. Like, what's wrong with you?" And Django's like, "What's wrong with you? Why are you pronouncing it?" Andrew, I have made that exact same connection in my mind. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah. And John, also want a second when John is saying the DuckTales reboot is incredible. It's absolutely amazing.
I've heard that.
It's not all on Disney Plus. Most of it is. It's very good.
I've heard that it is good.
It's very, very funny. So that and Milo Murphy's Law, we've got some fans in the chat. We all have good taste, confirmed.
John calls it Tross because of me, and I consider that a victory.
There you go.
You should.
No, I only do it for Tross and Rots. Those are the only 2 that I pronounce like words. And it drives Django crazy. I think less that I do it and more that I only do it for 2 movies and I don't do it for all of them, but maybe it's just that I do it in general. But yeah, it's Rots and Tross.
I think you need to follow your heart.
What is it? Deceit Mom?
Deceit
Mom. That's one of my favorites. Deceit Mom.
For Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Deceit Mom.
I'd forgotten about that.
Deceit Mom, I think, actually, but yeah.
Deceit Mom, ride or die. We are ride or die for it.
I'm so excited for Deceit Mom. It's gonna be so good. Oh my gosh. I think we've just kind of descended into lunacy. Have we really? I feel like we've already hit the 2-hour point and we're only at 1 hour and 20 minutes.
I was really moved by that part where Bucky brought Zemo in alive.
Yeah.
Something else I had in my notes.
I was freaking out because I was like, what are you doing, Bucky? What are you doing? Django goes, my ghost just died.
Yeah, I was absolutely freaking out. I really think that this is all just to show the differences between John Walker and some of these other people, because Bucky has also had the serum and has also been subjected to a ton of torture, but he was making the point to bring in Baron Zemo alive, which Zemo did not expect. He thought he was going to die. The gun was empty. It was amazing. It was a beautiful moment. I do wish that the Wakandans had taken him back to Wakanda, but this is another argument, I guess, that maybe they're trying to set up this Thunderbolts concept if he's going to the raft.
Well, I mean, I think it makes sense that they would have to put him back kind of into similar custody that he was taken from. Just from like an international treaty standpoint.
He killed the king. He's wanted for killing the king of Wakanda. Do they not have the right to extradite him?
Well, he's wanted for a lot of things. So like there's a lot of countries that want him.
I guess they had to take a number.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know if I'm making home. I had a cutscene with Abigail.
Andrew pointing out something I forgot to say. Bucky was sleeping on the couch and not the floor, and he looked so happy.
I didn't connect that.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
The classic introvert extrovert thing. I related so hard. Bucky is so freaking awkward. He was like, well, I guess I better go. And Sam's like, nope, come over here. You're gonna stay. What are you trying to do? Shut up. And Bucky was like, oh,
my sister.
He's like, you can sleep on the couch, but you may not flirt with my sister. And Bucky was like, oh man.
I said, oh man, because that would be freaking hilarious.
Oh, I don't think Sarah. I think if Sarah wants to flirt with him, she will.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Absolutely. She's gonna do whatever she wants, and she's gonna get all the shit.
You guys, what if that's the post-credit scene next week? Is like Sam catching Bucky coming out of the shower or something, or he catches going on a date, or like sneaking out of her window on the trellis. I'm just picturing scenarios now.
That's so good.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
So Cal, that's
making myself laugh.
Am I close? I need to do this now. This is a point of pride.
Uncle Sam's mixed sleepover rules.
Oh,
so good.
Yes. For real, though. Like, that was one of my favorite moments. He's like, dude, just, you're staying. Like, don't be stupid.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing?
It was so sweet.
But also, don't flirt with my sister.
I have the personality type where if I can tell someone's like, well, I guess I should go, I'll be like, all right. Or if like someone's like, hey, can I stay? I'll be like, sure. But if they're like, so I guess I should leave, I'm like, yeah, there's a good hotel like 3 blocks down. I'm like, I will not feed into that kind of crap at all. I'm like, just ask me what you want to ask me.
Well, I think that's what I think of when I think of a classic, like, out-and-out extrovert is somebody who adopts introverts. Like, I don't know if that's a hard and fast rule, but it's consistent with Bucky's character, that's for sure.
Like, look.
I loved Django. Oh my god, Django in the chat saying things that I'm not going to repeat. I mean, I'm not going to turn it down, but, like, I know they're not going to do that.
There's just, like, Mickey Mouse ears over certain places.
Yeah.
They could shoot it in such a way, I don't know, they could figure something out. I loved the, I could joke about that all day, but, like, the conversation that Sam and Bucky had, I noticed it ended with them doing the nice kind of not quite a hug, but like shaking hands kind of thing. But then when they were walking away from each other, and it was a little bit slow motion-y,
there were a couple of slow motion moments in that, and I was like, why are we in slow mo?
Yeah.
Like, why are we? Okay.
So the thing I wondered about that, first of all, it was cool that they were literally on the same path, even though they were moving away from each other. I liked how that looked. And I also are they trying to imply that they're not gonna see each other next episode, because that would be weird. But it almost looked like the end of the Breakfast Club, like they're saying goodbye.
Right.
That was the first thing I thought of, was the way the Breakfast Club ends. Are they saying goodbye to each other? They're definitely gonna like fight next week, because they're both gonna be in New York. They're gonna punch stuff, right? As a team.
That's my understanding. That's how I would take it.
Oh yeah, but they didn't know that.
Oh.
At that point, we didn't know that Sam was going to New York. We knew Bucky was.
Right.
We didn't know
Yeah,
Sam
Bucky,
was.
yeah, Bucky was like, let me know when you get a lead.
Hello, friend of my friend who is dead. We'll hang out next week. Like,
yeah.
I think I liked that comment because we've addressed it a couple of times. Like, they're not really, like, how well do they really know each other?
Right.
And before Steve left.
Right.
Whereas, like, now they know each other better and they're friends for themselves, not for Steve.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Even
think
if they're not admitting it yet.
Yes.
It might not be till next episode they can, like, admit that they're friends. But yeah, it was a nice moment.
I think they like addressed it.
Yeah.
In a very male way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with it. I think they understand that they're kind of stuck together now. Like,
It was very tongue-in-cheek. I was kind of like, yeah, they're saying, well, we're definitely not friends. Yeah, we're more like coworkers. I think they're friends. They just can't admit it
absolutely
yet.
friends.
Right,
That's
yeah.
a very manly way of saying, will you be my friend?
Yeah.
I am John having kind of an interesting point in the chat. He's not he was wondering if there was a vibe with Lamar and John Walker, that maybe they were more than friends. I don't think so.
No, I
do think it was.
Because Walker is married to that other girl.
Yeah, he's married. Yeah, that woman who has all my sympathy. Yeah. And I do think it was meant to be the partners in combat who were fighting by each other's side.
Yeah,
Strengthening their relationship.
They're in high school and on the football team together, and I mean, like, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was absolutely yelling at the TV when he was lying to Lamar's parents, though. That's for sure. I can't believe. Does he believe that now in his brain? Does he remember what happened?
I think it's
'cause
possible.
He does, and he feels so guilty that he killed the wrong person.
Yeah.
Knowingly, he knowingly
And-
killed the wrong person.
Carly, and that Carly did get away. Let's not forget, the person who did kill Lamar was Carly.
Yeah.
Right, and she got away.
I think it's distinctly possible that while doing it normally or knowingly, that part of his break is he's going to, like, I mean, not necessarily repress his memories, but like the way he's just going to convince himself he was right.
Yeah.
I think he believes he was.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs to convince himself. I think he already thinks it.
Yeah.
He said that to Sam and Bucky. He was like, you saw what I had to do. He killed Lamar with his eyes all crazy and spittle flying everywhere. And Sam was like, no, that's not what happened.
And he's like, yeah, it is. No, I think he convinced himself that that's what happened, and he needs that truth to go on, and
yeah,
it's gonna backfire, but
oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I felt like I also noticed in that earlier fight, John was like, why are you making me do this? Why are you making me do this? And I was like, that's something that abusive people say.
Right.
Like, they're not
is.
making you do anything. That really grossed me out.
That's what people who are abusive or are abused say.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
those are all
I should. Maybe I should give him some sympathy, but my well is running pretty dry for that dude, that's for sure.
I mean, he's definitely not helping himself in any way.
Oh, no. No. And I think we've talked about it before. Like, that's the difference between a good person and a good soldier.
Yeah.
Like, John is clearly a good soldier. That's why he was chosen to be the new Captain America.
Right.
But Captain America is not supposed to be a soldier.
Right.
He's supposed to be a symbol. He's supposed to be the best in all of us. And so choosing a good soldier, while it keeps in line with the way Captain America was chosen, like Steve, but it's not correct.
Right. Well, and it's people who don't understand. And I still say a lot of this is different. Like, again, I'm not giving him a pass because he chose to take the serum on his own, but I do think that serum is messing with. In the same way, like, you can do something when you're drunk. You're still the person who chose to get drunk. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I'm not taking away responsibility from what happened, but, you know.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Andy in the chat using something I'm actually not totally sure what it is. Do you think Walker might have CTE as well? Because he was bleeding from his ears. What
that's the thing that football players get, right?
I think so.
Because they've taken too many hits to the head. And that's possible.
Could be. I mean, if he's taken the serum, he's supposed to be healing quickly, though, right? Physically?
He's supposed to be healing quickly, but he's still got that arm in a sling.
If the serum works the same way.
Yeah, that's true. Always assuming that.
Jess, you're dating everybody right now.
I'm close. I started dating 2 new people today.
I see that.
Concussion.
What happens if I try and date one of those people? We haven't tried that
Lindsay
yet.
and I are currently dating the same person.
Yeah, I'm dating Shane, and so is she.
Oh.
I don't think we can marry the same person, but we can date. I mean, good soldiers follow orders, right, John?
Yeah.
Lindsay
soldiers follow orders. And don't question why.
Sorry, Lindsay and I think are the only 2 in the group that'll get the reference. This is an Order 66 reference.
Yes, I did get that.
Good soldiers follow orders. Good soldiers follow orders. I mean, it's true, but yes, I was referencing Clone Wars. Sorry.
Picked up on that. I just finished Clone Wars the other day, guys, so Jess and I have been talking about it.
She just finished Caesar Mandalore.
Nice.
So good. I'm so happy.
Yes.
I cannot wait. I'm so happy we can watch Bad Batch together now.
I know. I'm pumped.
I mean, like, I'm sure it's going to be a great entry point for anybody, but, like, still, though. You'll know.
Oh, yeah. I'm super excited.
How you guys feeling? Do you want to wrap after today, or do you want to do one more game day?
Okay, we can wrap.
I'm good. I'm just fighting blobs.
In the mines? Yeah, I'm personally getting kind of tired, so.
I finished the gold level.
I saw that. I appreciated that, because I kept forgetting about it.
Oh, we had like.
What did we have to do to finish it? Because we had all of the produce in there. Like, what were we supposed to have done? Finish it.
Grow them, I think.
In the store.
I didn't understand any of that.
Okay.
We had to put the gold produce in the box in Pierre's store.
No, I know that. And my thing said 25 out of 25 for the last 3 days.
We also had to grow so many. And so I think...
Yeah, no, we grew it. That was what was done. We had grown it all, but there were only like 7 or 8 in the box. So I just took enough to fill up the 25 needs in.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. I just didn't want to forget and like next time get busy, like, because it would be done and it would be like spring and we might just forget. So I just did it.
Just realized Jess is wearing Walker's shield on her head. I think he's messing with... No, I have a hat with Grogu on it, eating a frog. Oh, yeah. Is it the shape? Maybe that's it. It's a hexagon?
Is it your garbage? Is it your freshman hat?
Oh, I thought he meant my real hat.
Oh.
I'm looking at my real hat like, no, this says Grogu.
I was also so confused.
Like, what?
Yes, the character in the game has a trash can hat.
That's true. Yes, he is correct.
And it looks like a shield on the top of her head.
Yep.
That makes more sense.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Like, I got very offended, Django, that you were calling my son Walker Shield. I was like, what are you talking about?
Baby Yoda would end John Walker.
Yeah,
I'd like to see that, actually.
I would like to see
Baby
that,
Yoda
too.
would eat John Walker.
I'd like to see Baby Yoda.
I loved anytime, like, Grogu did something kind of dark-sidey and people would message me, like, how are you? Your son did something dark-sidey. And I was like, I'm very proud, actually. I don't think you understand that I'm actually very proud.
Yeah, I would love to see him, like, wreck John Walker's entire shit. Like, I would love to see that. Mm-hmm. I would praise him the entire time.
He's a very good boy.
I do think it's interesting, though. I guess this is my only closing thought, is that, like, Sam is really going to have to operate as Captain America outside of government influence, isn't he? Because we've seen the government just treat so many people so badly. You know, there is an element of sympathy we can have for John Walker because he is what they made him to be. Steve did not approve of the PR stuff, and he ultimately refused to sign the Sokovia Accords.
Yeah,
and of course, more than anything, Isaiah Bradley. So I think Sam is really going to have to be Captain America in the sense that he is the people's Captain America. He's not going to, like, take any government stuff at all.
Which is why it's appropriate that his suit is going to be made in Wakanda.
Yeah, they can't argue that they own it.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Or the shield. Yeah, Andrew, with I think the correct prediction. I think he's going to defeat Carly, but then advocate on her behalf at the end, based on, like, her beliefs.
Yes, I think he will, and I think he will do it in his Captain America getup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he gets to say, "Look, you can't treat people like shit and expect them to not be upset about it."
Right.
I am Captain America, and that means I have to address some of the ugly truths of America.
Yeah.
And that includes why we've never had a black one of me before. Like,
or why we had one who was tortured, so does it count? Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to see where it goes next week and hopefully in seasons come. Cal says, in training, we do go over the difference between lawful orders and unlawful orders, so the without question part is a bit of a misnomer. Yeah.
I hear you.
I would hope. Can whoever hasn't hit go so we can get the save, please?
Oh, that's probably me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine. I just can't save the game until we go through.
I just wasn't even processing through. Yeah.
That's fine. All right. So I think that's what we'll call it for today. I know it's a little shorter, but I'm just kind of, I've no energy left today, so.
Right.
But I appreciate you all being here. I don't know what my stream schedule is like the rest of the week. It will be the Prey DLC during the week at some point, and it will be more Strange. Life is Strange on the weekend. And if you were here and didn't think Before the Storm was really your cup of tea, I can understand that, especially if you were not here for the first game. But once we finish Before the Storm, Life is Strange 2 will be a much better entry point. So, like, if that one wasn't really your thing, just hang on a couple of weeks, and then Life is Strange 2 is much, much better for those who may not have been around for the first game. But that's where I'm at. Thank you all for joining me in the voice chat.
Of course, always.
And for all of you in the text chat, it's so much better having so much from all of you guys to go off of. And I will talk to you later this week. Bye!